Hey, welcome Star Wars fans to another Order 66 Toys video, and today we are doing kind of a vintage versus modern kind of collecting video for you guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on a few different vintage and modern figures with these three specific characters. We have Darth Vader, Han Solo, and Luke Skywalker. We were just thinking, well, what are three good characters to pick from? And we're like, well, we got to do Luke Skywalker. And then I wanted to do Darth Vader. And then we were like, well, who else should we do? And we're like, we'll just do Han. So there's your three. There we have them.
Well, it's not just any Luke and Han. It is Bespin Han versus Bespin Han. Hoth Luke versus Hoth Luke.
And
good old Vader.
Good old Vader. Good old Vader.
Picking good boy Vader.
He is good. He is good. You know, he's trying to keep order in the galaxy. His son's trying to just tear things up. You know, some kids never live up to their parents. You know, it's a shame. It's a shame. Anyway, I think we're ready to get down into it, aren't we?
Well, what else do we have going on this weekend?
So this weekend, tomorrow, of course, we have Part Swap. If you're unfamiliar with Part Swap, we have several bins of pieces and things all the way from 77 to now. People are welcome to come in and dig through them and find all kinds of different things they need. You're encouraged and welcome
When we start talking about
to bring your own... What's the word I'm looking for? Vehicles or playsets, if you like, to try and complete them here at the store. You're welcome to trade items at that time for other things in the store as well. And of course, we buy, sell, trade all the time. So, Part Swap is tomorrow. We'll also be doing a Part Swap live video tomorrow. So if you're unfamiliar with that, we'll be going through bins on camera for all of you guys, and at which point you can just message and shout it and comment at us, hey, I need that piece, or I need that vehicle, or hey, can you set that aside for me, and then we'll work that out with you as the day progresses. We also have our Battlefront 2 tournament coming up on Friday. Once again, that's going to be July the 6th. If you haven't participated, we encourage you to do that as well. We raise money for the American Heart Association with that event. There's a $5 entry fee, which all of those proceeds go donated to the American Heart Association. And then the kids participate for fabulous prizes here at Order 66 Toys, and kids of all ages are welcome to participate with parents' permission, and it's a lot of fun. They usually have a blast doing it. What else is going on? Today, if you're in town, be sure to go visit our friends Matt and Brian at the Lost Toys. They're having their free toy swap today at the Lost Toys in Dallas. They're located off of Empire Central and 35. So go check them out. They're good friends of ours. They usually have a lot of cool stuff.
They're really great guys.
They are really great guys. We love them. We love them to death. What else? Is there anything else going on this week? I think that's about it. Of course, we have our other two events coming up. We have our free art show coming up on July 14th. That's going to be here at the store. And we're going to have our free car show here at the store on July 21st. Both of those dates are Saturdays. So it should be easy for everybody to be available. It's going to be after that whole 4th of July crazy week, because I know some people go out of town for that. So we didn't plan anything for that week, just for
pretty cool shirt today.
Just for you guys. And no, thank you. I think this one is one of the ones we got from GameStop. I found out later though when I walked into the bathroom one day when I first got it.
It's glow in the dark.
Yeah, parts of it are glow in the dark, and I thought that was really cool. I was like, oh my gosh, my shirt's glowing. So that's really cool.
Did you talk about the sale we have going on?
I did not yet. So also in this, hey guys, welcome in. Also in the store today, we have our two sales going on. We have our clearance sale, which there are 3 clearance tables. There's 2 12-inch tables, 1 6-inch table. Everything on those tables are 50% off. That sale is extended to you guys, our friends in the Star Wars Collections group. And we have our 66 sale, or our Order 66 sale, as we like to call it, as we recently hit 6,600 likes on our Facebook page. Thanks to all of you who have liked our page. If you haven't,
we have not paid for
we encourage you to do so.
We have not paid for a single one of those.
We don't pay for likes.
Those are all people that are actually in our store on a regular basis.
Or they're you guys.
Or our friends on Facebook.
They're real, true life likes. We like them.
Not like some of the other stores in DFW.
We like to keep it authentic here. So, if you haven't participated in that sale, we encourage you to do so. Everything in the store, aside from the clearance tables with this sale, is 34% off. Just message us if you need something. Check out our Pointy profile on what is it, Pointy.com?
Pointy.com.
So check us out there to see our active inventory.
I'm sure our link is posted on our Facebook page and in the Star Wars Collections group.
And if you're looking for Black Series, I worked all day yesterday cleaning up our entire database and organizing absolutely everything in our Black Series. So, I encourage you to look there. It should be clean. Everything should be nice and neat on there unless our database messed up somehow. As of last night, it's clean and organized and neat. So, check us out on Pointy. There's going to be some cool stuff on there. You'll get to actively see our scanned and recorded inventory.
So let's get down to the video, man. Let's start with our Dark Lord and Savior.
Save the best for first. Look at that. Okay, so of course we have the best vintage piece in my opinion. The vintage Darth Vader. He's got his lightsaber. It even has that little extra
it's a COO variant
string of plastic right there on the end of his lightsaber as they do.
I thought he was holding a stick of dynamite.
Yeah, it's always... The lightsabers on these toys were so weird. I'm glad they got away from the telescoping thing. I didn't like it. I mean, it's cool to have that gimmick on it.
Going back to it. They went back
I'm trying to play with his lightsaber.
Hey.
What?
It's a family show.
Yeah. It's a... yeah. So yeah, it's retractable. I didn't want to open the bag, so that's why I'm playing with it in the bag. Of course, he's got his robe, which is supposed to be his cape.
Just open it.
I thought this was a family video.
Open it, man.
Ooh, boy. Oh, you're talking about the toy. I thought you were talking about his robe.
So this is probably the same Darth Vader most of you had growing up. I know that's the one I had.
It's funny because I just like, it also kind of looks like a trench coat kind of thing, so I just kind of imagine Vader going...
Are you proud of yourself?
Yes, very much so. So here you go. There you have Vader. Look at that guy.
What's up, brother?
He's great.
Everyone is good. We're good. We just got back from a toy show.
At Lost Toys.
Yeah, with our friends at Lost Toys. I found a couple Aliens pieces I needed for my collection.
We found, Josh actually saw it first, but I found a, I think it's Planet of the Symbiotes hybrid, but it's the off color, the blue and purple
variant
version.
color, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I gotta get that red one at some point. Ooh. I want to get him in box though. I want to get that one in box when I can.
Tell me, guys, is there a limit on the modern editions you're looking at? What we're doing is we just picked one. We just picked one.
We can look at some more if you guys like.
So there's 3 characters that we're doing today. So we're doing good old Vader. We're doing
Hoth Luke, and Bespin Han
Solo.
Bespin Han Solo. And most of this stuff is going to be Power of the Force.
Except for slightly on Hoth.
I like this though. You know, I'm not really big on vintage collectibles. You know, part of it is the quality of the action figure and the looks of them for me. I know it's really a lot of it's just the nostalgia of having the character.
Let's talk about quality. Okay, this figure is at least 35 years old.
Yep. And it held up pretty well. I mean,
it holds up well.
It's the only vintage piece I'm interested in getting for myself if I ever get one is I just want a Darth Vader on card. I don't care which version it is, just a Darth Vader on card. That's the only vintage piece I could be interested in.
Okay. Well, if you could only have one Darth Vader, though, this is what it comes down to. This is what the video is all about. Would you go vintage or would you go modern? And if you went modern, is this the one that you would go with, or would you pick something that's a little less He-Man-esque?
I would definitely go with a different Vader. If I had to pick any Vader action figure, honestly, I would go with the Black Series Blue Vader from 2014.
Well, that's a whole different scale than we're talking about 3.75.
Well, if it's just 3.75, which Vader would I go with?
Depends on how you're posing him too. Do you want him with his lightsaber? Do you
Yeah,
want him gripping
how
his
do I
belt?
want him? Do I want him in his TIE fighter? Do I want him on shelf with a bunch of stormtroopers?
Well, let's just stick to vintage or modern first.
So
for you, it would not be modern.
for me, it would definitely be modern.
It would be modern.
It
It
would
would
be modern.
definitely not be vintage.
Especially if it's something I'm going to display. It would be modern. I just like the modern figures better. I like the quality of them more. I like how they're actually articulated, more or less, depending on which line you buy from now.
We got a question for you.
What's the question?
If we have the Power of the Jedi back to tank Luke, what would we think about it? Plus the company FX7 and 21B in the same series. Playability for kids, does it hold water? Is it displayable? It does hold water. It is very displayable.
I think it's an awesome piece.
I had one for a long time up on my shelf before we opened the store, and I had it backlit, and it looked really, really cool.
It's highly playable. I like the old playsets they used to do like that.
If I'm being totally honest, though, I pretended that it was Rico from Starship Troopers.
Of course you did.
Because that's basically a back to tank also.
3 more weeks.
It is pretty much. Did you do some custom painting on your Luke though, where you
No.
did some cutting
Dude, I
on
was
his
just a
leg?
kid.
Oh, okay. Got you.
I was just a kid.
Oh.
Playability, as far as playability goes,
It's got
for
a
the
lot of
back to tank.
playability.
The back to tank is really just a decoration.
But
There's not much that you can do with it.
think of all those dioramas you want to do. If you want to do different war scenes, or if you want to, maybe if you're someone who likes to do stop motions or things, there's a lot you can do with a back to tank. You can put all kinds of different characters.
What do
in
you think of the Episode 8 back to suit?
The back to suit, that would be cool. And again, it's for that point. I mean,
So you can make your toy get out of bed
well,
and walk around in a slapsticky fashion.
hey man, it doesn't have to be serious all the time.
Tell that to Ryan Johnson. Anyways,
It doesn't have to have a joke at the end of every scene either.
It didn't have a joke at the end of it.
we're not doing a very good job comparing the two of these.
It's because you guys keep getting off on these tangents.
What's up, Mark?
Unlike
Hi,
Bobby,
Mark.
What's the best 2-1B figure you've seen across the lines? Honestly, I really like the vintage one, but
Vintage one's nice.
Isn't there a legacy one?
There's an articulated legacy one that's really good.
that's probably the best one.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot.
I like the legacy one. I don't hate the Power of the Force one. I like the Power of the Force one too.
It's hard
Really
to get
loud.
No, I like the Power of the Force one. That one's pretty cool. What was the other droid we were talking about? That one's part of the
FX7.
Jedi also, right?
Yeah. There's one in Power of the Jedi. There's
There's a vintage one.
later. There's ones later. I think there's the Saga collection one.
The FX7's definitely got better.
I think
Tim said he really wants to see a Black Series 2-1B. That would be awesome.
that would be cool.
40th of Empire's coming. A couple of years. Wouldn't surprise me if they did a Black Series
I think
40th
the-
for that.
For the FX7, I think the Power of the Jedi one's pretty good.
The discussion today, Mark, is we are
like
comparing
Power of the Jedi
and
one.
contrasting. We're getting off on a lot of sidetracks, but we're comparing vintage to modern. What do we like better? Stuff like that.
Yeah, if I had to go with the Vader, it would be a modern one. It definitely wouldn't be this specific one.
Jacked Vader. He-Man Vader.
If I was sitting between the two and I had a gun to my head, though, I don't know which one I would go with.
If I could only pick between these two, I'm definitely going vintage.
Really?
Yeah.
Why would you go vintage?
Because he looks like the Hulk.
Yeah, but
It's like a Skeletor variant.
He'll-
It's Darth Banner.
he looks like Darth Streaker.
And?
I mean, I don't know. And he's got the telescoping lightsaber, which
Darth,
again,
don't come
as
to school tomorrow.
if you didn't hear me earlier, it's a feature I
Stay
don't
away
like.
from that.
It's just some I can't do the telescoping lightsabers. I think it's
Mike said, I
terrible.
thought the Vader and the 3.75 Black Series line was probably the best they've done yet.
Which
That's
one?
just my thought.
The red line, the blue line, or the orange
3.75.
line? Yeah, which line?
The 3.75 Black Series.
Which one?
That one.
There's 3,
There's the.
Oh, there's 3. Yeah, you're right.
and there's multiple
Womp
Vaders
womp
throughout them.
Womp.
I don't think there's
Okay,
multiple
there's a
Vaders.
Luke on Dagobah Vader, and that's a Force Vision. so that's not even,
There's a Vader in both the orange and the blue. There's the one in the red.
Vader smash, Vader destroy. Vader smash.
Gosh, yeah.
All right, moving on.
All right, let's. Sun's getting
low.
really low. Next.
Just listen to that. That's awesome.
That would be Luke too, though, saying the sun's getting really low
Mike
at the
was-
end of Return of the Jedi.
Mike was talking about the blue line Vader.
Oh, he's talking about the blue one? The blue one's pretty good. I like it.
Tim said, I actually think there's a market for light and sound 6-inch Vader. I'm thinking along the same lines as the 12-inch Anakin the Vader figure they did with the light-up saber and helmet sounds. That'd be cool. Yeah.
I'd buy it.
If they started making electronic...
Well, they're doing it with some of the Marvel Legends now. In the 3-pack for the Studio Series, the new Iron Man that's going to be repacked with Doctor Strange and Thanos is going to have a light up or a light and sound. I don't remember if it's one or both. But
Mike said, not Dagobah,
he's going to have a light up.
not Dagobah, not
arc
Vader
reactor.
with the blast effects. Number 3. All right, so who do we got here?
So now we have Hoth Luke, and these figures could not look more different.
Most people don't even know that this is Luke. They think it's just a rebel soldier.
I honestly thought it was just a Rebel Soldier too. And part of it's because he doesn't come with his lightsaber.
The weird bandana thing.
And it's because of the little assault rifle he comes with.
I'm honestly much bigger of a fan of the vintage weapons. They kept it simple. They actually all fit in their hands pretty well.
I was trying a second ago, but I don't want to break it, but I couldn't really get this one in
Some
his
of them
hands.
are a little.
I mean, I guess you could get
flexible,
the
let's
strap
say.
in his hand, but being a vintage figure, I'm just afraid if I try to play with it, I will break it.
Give it to the guy with
You
the
want to do it?
shakiest hands.
I'll let you break it. You own it, not me. I don't know. God, that does not look like Mark Hamill at all. Look at that face. That looks like he's Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru's son, but they're also siblings.
Come on, guys. You know, as soon as I say I like the vintage weapons, like his thumb is bent.
Is that
It's
a bad
supposed
thing?
to, yeah, it's supposed to be
The
open more.
DL-44 though is enormous.
See, yeah, it is. It is huge.
Size of his torso.
And look, he has like this really, really tiny holster on his hip right here. How's that
It
supposed
does
to fit?
nothing.
How's that supposed to fit
It's
in that?
aesthetic.
But
And see, that's another problem I have with toys. I don't like aesthetic
Yeah.
pouches and things, unless, like, especially if it has like a piece of equipment that is meant to go inside pouch or thing. So
Well,
Alright.
when did they start doing that? Was that
Gun to your head.
Was that original trilogy?
gun to your head, which one are you picking?
Original trilogy?
Well, now, keep in mind we're leaving. What kind of collector you are.
yeah, well,
We're
this is
we're
just
basing
between the
this
two figures.
in a vacuum.
Um,
If you were to buy one of these, or let's just say somebody's going to give you one, which one would you rather have?
I go with vintage on these two personally.
You know what?
I think I would have to go with
I'm
Power
going
of
with the
Force.
Power of the Force one, and here's why. He comes with more stuff.
I would
And-
just totally leave
and
that.
his
See,
outfit
to
looks
me,
a
this
little
is
bit
a
better.
quality over quantity type thing. Like, granted, the 5 POA stuff from vintage is not the greatest quality, but
Mark said vintage on this one.
Vintage on this one,
Yeah.
and again, it's
think
not
it looks
really.
cooler.
There's no right answer to this because you either prefer vintage or
Tim
you prefer
said vintage
modern.
every time.
See, Tim likes vintage every time. And part of it is a lot of the guys who I think prefer vintage are a lot of the guys who grew up with it. I didn't grow up with it. I have an appreciation for it because that's where
See, that's
we
what
got
he's
our
saying.
start.
He just said there's such great memories with the Tauntaun.
Exactly,
etc.
exactly, and that's something you can't change with people.
See, I had
with new
the
figures.
Tauntaun. I had the Tauntaun growing up. I had an open belly Tauntaun. From it was released later down the road, but it was still vintage. And I played with my Tauntaun with that figure in 1996 when I was 11 years old.
And you know what? It's the toys you grow up with. A lot of preference comes. It has to do with what you grew up with. What did you play with as a kid? I played with modern action figures. I played
But we
with
got to leave all
Clone
of
Troopers
that.
and Battle Droids.
We got to leave all of that out of it and base
between the two.
figures. Base our decisions.
And it would be a lot easier to decide, I think, if we had the better quality modern figures right next to this vintage figure.
Yeah, we'll have to do that next time. We'll have to pick like the best example
But-
instead of just
But
the
you
first
know what?
example.
if it's anything past episode 3, I'm going with modern.
Yeah, it would be modern for me every single time. But that's just because the quality is absolutely better and it's the best representation I would feel right next to it. So I like that we're comparing it to the lower quality modern figures because it's harder to choose.
Yeah. Well, this is the first video of these that we've done.
And we're going to do more. And you know what? Maybe for the next one we do pick some higher quality figures. But maybe we'll do it with some different characters next time also.
Dude, that new Hasbro Wampa is awesome. It's basically...
Are we talking about the Force Link 2.0 one?
Yeah. It's basically a Black Series Wampa.
It is. It's the same Wampa mold, just scaled down.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
So if you like the Black Series one,
it's a good one for 3 3/4 scale.
Good luck finding it though, because it was
I can't
packed,
find it anywhere.
It was packed 1 to 3 or 1 to 4. No, 1 to 2 or 1 to 3.
With it's with the land speeder, I think. With Han's land speeder is what it was packed with. I want to say, and yeah, it was low packed. The packaging is like this weird Last Jedi, Han Solo toy line.
It was a Last
hybrid
Jedi crossover with
2.0.
Force Link 2.0.
Didn't they do that with the Rathtar set?
Yeah, they did it with Rathtar.
They did that also.
Yep. Probe droid.
Yep.
Look, finding it now.
Gosh, that
probe droid is super difficult.
Is really nice. All right, next up we got Han Solo from Bespin.
Now, before we even start, I'm picking modern 100% of the time on this one. I do not like. I understand why people would like this figure.
Stallone, Han Solo.
But that doesn't look. I mean,
it looks nothing like him.
I know we didn't have the best face sculpts back then.
Also, why? What's that blaster he has? That's not his. That's not Han's blaster.
It's also been painted.
What, this?
Yeah,
that's a Bespin blaster.
And also, yeah, it's the wrong. Is that not the right blaster?
No, it's the right. The dude who owned it painted it, and it's frustrating.
Oh,
but you know, I actually think that's a pretty decent face sculpt.
It's definitely a lot closer.
We jumped from right to left over the course of 10 years, and although he is way more buff than he should ever be,
well, he's not as buff as he should be either. So
they didn't find a good middle ground.
No, they didn't.
Any news on what the Vintage Collection Yak face will look like versus the last 17? You can Google the barge exclusive.
There's images online.
The only difference between the barge exclusive for the people that bought the barge and the one that we're actually going to get later down the road is the card.
And I believe this is the first Yak face figure we're getting since Power of the Force. So we've only had 3 Yak face figures to my knowledge. We've had the original Power of the Force run.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We had the second Power of the Force run.
Yes, we have, Tom. There's definitely pictures out there. You just Google TVC barge exclusive Yak face.
Yep.
Or HasLab Yak face.
But yeah, gun to my head, between these two.
1985 and 1997.
I told you.
I know Jedi business isn't the most accurate, but they tend to have at least a
They're
picture
pretty
of,
close.
Yeah.
Usually the stuff they're missing is just like the really, really hard to find items.
That'd be nice if they still listed it.
Well, the way they do it is they list it based off of figures they physically get themselves.
Right, but they're trying to be like a good checklist. And
they are. They're better than some though. I like them a lot more than Rebel Scum. And their organization.
That's why we have our own thing that we're working on.
Exactly. We're doing our own too. And it's going to be cool. I'm working on it right now. It's taking me some doing, but
Tim said he's really excited for the STCC Bespin Han Black Series.
That figure set looks really
I'm
really
excited
cool.
for it, but honestly, I don't feel like that was enough to make it an STCC exclusive.
Agreed.
It should have come with like a landing
bigger.
ramp or something for him to walk down.
Or packed with Chewie or Leia as well.
Chewie and Leia.
We have a Leia.
Yeah, do the 3-pack like they did in the Power of the Force line, but
actually,
make it a Black Series.
They're already doing Hoth Leia anyway in the regular toy line. So why not just pack her with another respirator?
And I'm sure we'll get a new Chewie because his hair's all ragged and Empire compared to Episode 4. So.
And he's wearing the face mask, the breathing apparatus.
All 3 of them are. And what would be really cool is in the packaging is if they had him holding the Minoc like he did in the scene.
Tim, we have, I wouldn't say access, but we do have a lot of people that are looking out for us and looking out for the people that we work with, like the collections group. And I would bet that we have customers, local customers here, that will pick up a couple extras while they're out at STCC for us. and then they'll trade them in, and then we'll put them up for sale, and I'm sure we'll do a review video and all that.
Gosh, I'm hoping like one of them
I'm
picks up
surprised.
an extra Dr. Afro 3-pack for me.
Mike just
so
said he
bad.
wasn't impressed with the Comic-Con exclusives this year.
You know,
It should have been the
I'm
Falcon
surprised.
cockpit from Empire as a centerpiece or something like
I'm
that.
happy.
Like,
I'm happy with the 3 3/4
Black Series
one
vehicle.
that's coming out. That one I'm happy with.
That's only because
but
you are freaking out about Afro, though.
well, there's also the droids. The droids are also really
yeah,
good.
but those are just Afro's droids.
Dude, there's so much more than that. You gotta read the comics, man.
No, I don't
they're
know
so
how to
cool.
read. That's why
But,
I play with toys all day.
That's true. Gosh,
Books?
but where was I going?
Bookie books.
But yeah, no, I
He's gonna get
totally agree.
shoot
I'm a
now.
little disappointed in the lack of exclusives this year. Like last year, we were hammered with some really good
Well,
Black
what were
Series
we just
exclusives.
talking
got
about
some
in the car?
exclusives this year. It's just
We were talking about Clone Wars. So it's the 10th anniversary of Clone Wars, and we've gotten some pops announced, and that's
Yay.
fine
Give
and
us
fine
some
and
Clone
dandy.
Wars figures.
But yeah, why not do a 3-pack where you just repack Captain Rex, do Clone Wars Anakin and Clone Wars Ahsoka?
Well, let's talk about that more in our video at 5, Order 66 live at 5, because we're doing the Volume 4 of Black Series Wishlist. So let's make it Clone Wars 10th anniversary and
20th anniversary Phantom Menace.
And
That's what we had
Phantom Menace.
discussed doing earlier
Yeah.
this week too.
So we'll do that.
We'll talk about those. We'll hear what you want to see from Phantom Menace, which I'm sure a bunch of you, what you want to see is a big fat nothing other than a repacked Darth Maul, probably.
The Jedi Council
Maybe-
centerpiece would be interesting.
That would be very.
Maybe do a centerpiece that isn't complete.
Get a
Dog
Yariel.
poo.
Oh, you know what? 20th anniversary Yariel Poof figure. That's what I want.
yeah, right.
Yariel Poof.
Oh, that'd be so great.
Oh, it would
Mike-
be so
Baddest
cool.
mofo in the galaxy.
Mike, I don't know if you know Bryson, but we're about to start a series on reviewing the comics. So Bryson's been collecting all the comics.
He and I got Bryson sucked into them. He reads them along with me now, so he and I are going to start discussing those in greater detail here pretty soon too in another
TPM,
kind of video.
let's talk about Padme's posterior.
How long do you have?
I'm only seeing them once, Mike.
I'm sure people would pay for a midriff Padme Episode 2 figure.
I would. I'd buy a bunch of them.
I just want one Padme figure.
Let's
Just
wait till live at 5.
Maybe two different
That's pretty
bodies
much
or
all we got right
costumes or
now, guys.
So what's the overall verdict on these figures? So with this one, I think most people said vintage, and then this one was what, modern? Between these three?
That's what I said was modern. I said modern, vintage.
Oh, you said modern on this one?
Yeah.
Oh wait, and I said modern on this one too. So you and I voted modern on these two. We
But
voted
everybody
vintage
else
on this
voted
one.
vintage.
Everybody else voted vintage?
Yeah.
Well, I guess vintage has it, guys. I mean, it's just two of us versus all of you, so your votes outweigh us. So, all right, so we're going vintage on all three this time. Vintage on all three.
What do you guys think?
I think it's vintage on all three. You guys have it. The audience has spoken. Anyway,
I think it's just nice to show the figures next to each other. And,
it is. It is.
Oh, Tim's mad at you.
What did I do,
Hey,
Tim?
Bobby, you broke the deal today.
What deal?
No horse Stetson again, man.
I said I wasn't going to do that. I'm not
the
Texan.
pressure's on, waiting for live at 5 on horseback.
How many times do I have to tell you I'm not a Texan?
You lived here the majority of your life. Counts as Texan.
I'm still not from here, like the rest
So,
of
if
like
you
the rest
were
of you
born in
people.
Brazil but you were raised in America, you're still an American.
I would also still be Brazilian, which would be kind of cool. Except I don't have malaria, so
Okay, but states don't
That's
work
not
like other
Brazil.
countries like that.
isn't it though?
No, it's not.
I mean, if you're anywhere below Mexico, don't you have like every malaria ever?
no.
I would think so.
Bobby
Or
is a silly
no, it's
person.
Zika's the big thing now. That's the one the kids are into these days.
That
was a big thing
still
like
not
3 years
Brazil.
ago.
No, that was like last year.
Anyways, guys, we love you. We'll see you at 5. We're not going
See
to
you
do
at
the
5.
3 o'clock video because we're slammed here in the store with the sale going on. So if there's anything you need or you have any questions, send us a message. I got my laptop over here today, and we'll get back with you ASAP.
Very soon.
Just let me know what's up, guys. We'll talk to you later.